dispense with the gameplay and just make it a book or a movie.
True, but not with this game.
But, and I mean, that's true usually. And this game thoroughly proves that.
Well,
that there is so much.
By the way, Mike, want to save? Oh, never mind, you can't save.
You can't quite save yet.
No, I did save.
Oh my.
Hey, it's Lane!
It is lame.
Heaven is full. There's nowhere for the dead to go.
No. That was. It's great here.
Oh, no, it was also Heaven is full and dead has nowhere to go. Remember, it was the message to Sister was given before she became the...
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, like I was gonna say, this game, it's largely told cinematically. It, as you'll find out in shortly, actually, the gameplay is dungeon crawling, and like any good dungeon crawler, either the dungeon crawling is either the focus of the game or just the gameplay they threw in to have gameplay. I think it's the latter in this case.
You need to pay more attention to stuff like that.
But
You're supposed to get the juicy stories.
I want to say,
Hold on one second.
oh, what?
Hold on. Hey, Tyson, can you do me a favor? We're going to have a bunch of dialogue, and me and Nate here are going to stop talking. Can you see if you can hear the game? And have you been hearing the game over us? Are you typing all that out?
Sort of.
Okay. Sorry, continue.
Oh, well, largely what I was getting at was that CRPGs
Did you see it yesterday?
and JRPGs have been ever since.
C or W?
Well, I've seen it recently as CRPGs more, but yeah, WRPGs is fine too. But yeah, computer RPGs have been coming
But it seems like a lot of people have seen it.
closer to JRPG style, and yet going the other way in different aspects.
Yukiko said she'd be
And
here.
JRPGs have become much more action-based and
I wonder why they're
trying to
holding a school
integrate gameplay
Hey,
and
what's
function.
wrong, Yosuke?
And I think it's interesting that when you watch a game like this, a Let's Play, or just watch us play it, we have all this time to talk because we can just read.
Hold on. Yeah, here we go. Here's the dialogue. Please listen to this, so tell us how the audio is.
I regret to say that I have a terrible announcement for all of you. One of our third-year students, Ms. Saki Konishi of Class 3, has passed away.
Passed away?
Ms. Konishi was found deceased early this morning. The reasons behind her passing are currently under investigation by the police. If they ask you for your cooperation, I urge you as students of this school to provide only the facts.
I'm surprised that actually the sheriff, the detective, and his assistant aren't there to actually be like, "Hey, you'll see us."
No evidence that bullying was involved in the incident.
At least none we haven't covered up already.
Not only to the police, but to anyone
See,
who
here's my
asks.
thing, though. I think with JRPGs, what they like is an exposition dump. They love vomiting exposition, and particularly with Persona games, they do it all up front because we handed everything.
It's also very hard in a game that is so straightforward narrative that, and most JRPGs are, to have all the branching dialogue options, all the branching, it's challenging in a game where, say, Fire Emblem, for example, where permadeath is a thing. How do you maintain the narrative of a party when someone in the party could die? Well, they make a character not die permanently. And it's interesting how more of those kind of circumstances, like in Skyrim, there are NPCs that you just,
She totally looked like
in
she was
theory, in the
mad.
vanilla
Isn't
game,
that scary?
can't kill or the game can't finish.
Sounds
But-
like someone had a nightmare.
You know, that's the funny thing, is that's very JRPG-ish, isn't it?
Sort of. The thing about JRPGs, even like I've even played old Sega Genesis and Nintendo games, where like depending if you even have these people in your party, the game would just keep doing dialogue as if they were there. Shining Force was an example of that, where you had to have all these party members in your group, the right party members in the group, so that the dialogue would make sense. Otherwise, you'd be like, "Have you heard about the Dark Knights? I agree, it's horrible to think." Like you don't get the other half of that conversation unless that person's there.
Right.
And that was kind of annoying about Shining Force because you had to know who was needing to go in the game. Particularly a game that had like 60-something characters.
Yeah.
Another one is you make the characters unmissable, like Persona, like Suikoden. The major story characters you can't miss. The
Right.
other 100, like the other like let's say 80 characters are optional. They important. They do add story, and they will add lots of story. But if you don't, the core 20 will always be there. Yes.
We need to get to another
Hey.
dialogue.
Did you guys check out?
Yosuke, not you too.
Just listen for a sec. Something kept bothering me, so I watched it again, and I think the girl on the screen, Saki-senpai. There's no mistaking it. Senpai looked like she was writhing in pain, and then she disappeared from the screen.
What?
You heard Senpai's body was found in a similar situation as that announcer's, right? Well, remember that guy you told us about? How he was all excited that his soulmate was the announcer? Maybe Ms. Yamano might have been on that midnight channel before she died too.
What's that supposed to mean? Hold on, are you saying people who appear on that TV die?
I can't say for sure, but something tells me I just can't dismiss it as cool. Plus, remember
Oh, by the way,
that
it's also a
bear
murder
thing
mystery.
How that
video
place
game.
was dangerous. It also said
Yeah.
that someone's
By the
been
way,
throwing
Tyson, how
people
was that?
in there.
He says it's good.
And that room with the
Okay, good.
posters on the wall
Can you hear it over
has
us?
to have
while
something
we're
to do
talking?
with the announcer.
No,
I mean,
no, come turn.
don't you think there's some kind of connection
Okay,
there?
so that's not good.
Couldn't that world in the TV have something to do with Senpai and the announcer's death?
Yeah.
That's fine.
But I think sometimes when you get like a case of, but
So it's
the
not just
reason I
me.
started talking about all that
If
is
there is a
because
connection,
I wanted to
that would
highlight the
explain
difference
posters in
between
that
this
room to
game,
me.
which is highly praised
We look-
by everyone that plays it, including
I thought you were gonna let people read.
Sorry.
Yeah,
including people
I'm thinking about going in
who
again.
exclusively play,
wanna find-
Western computer RPGs.
Don't
Love
do
this game
You
too.
should just let the police
And
handle
the
this.
reason, but then you go to something like
We can rely on
Xenosaga,
the police?
which is
Have
just a
any progress
movie.
on the
I mean, they even
announcer's
put out
case?
a movie of it, of just the
Besides,
movies
even if we
from the
told them about
game,
world inside the TV,
and
there's
that's
no way
all
they're
you
gonna
need. You
believe
don't
us.
even need these
If
sections.
I'm completely off base with this,
It's all
that's
told
fine.
in game or in a
It's just
Well,
FMV.
you don't
and you
need
get
the
that as a
gameplay part.
movie.
Die like
Yeah,
that.
the gameplay is completely dispensable.
Yosuke,
And
After
yet
what I've
here
seen,
the gameplay
what I put
has
together,
significance
there's no way-
because the enemy types match.
You're the only person who can help me.
personalities and
I'm gonna go get ready.
it's
I'll be waiting for
The
you.
dungeons match.
this is what I've always admired about well done JRPGs. I'm not a fanatic for just everything that comes out that's important from Japan. I was once.
I can kinda understand
But
how he
that was a
feels,
long
but
time
we can't
ago.
be sure
And
we'll be able to get out safely.
I'm looking for quality now, and this is definitely one of those because they made the gameplay
What should we do?
match up. And you know what? It works beautifully. So to all of you watching, and all three of you, or two, or one,
anyways,
or zero.
let's-
Especially we got three dialogue.
What
Say hello, person.
what I'm trying to essentially say, long story short,
You guys
Too late.
a game.
too late indeed, is that
We can't
don't
just
don't
stop.
knock
You
on a
really shouldn't do
JRPG
this.
until
It's
you've
too
actually gotten
dangerous.
to the gameplay, until you've actually evaluated the whole
I know,
game,
but we
because
were able to come back
knocking
once,
on
right?
it just because
From the
it's
same
narrative
location.
heavy.
Maybe we'll meet that Baron.
There are plenty of games that are narrative heavy that are still games and wonderful.
But then there are the games that have no
Isn't
narrative.
good enough.
And I'm not talking about I'm talking about games that are like literally the entire narrative is to go kill someone.
Look,
Right,
can't
right.
just
Like the Call of Duty.
And there
The-
can be
the-
some, no. Call of Duty has a narrative. In fact, sometimes I actually admired some of the Modern Warfare series writing.
I liked up to 3, and then after that, it's starting to get now that
Well,
they've
now that
introduced.
they've gotten rid of the original studio, it's kind of.
what about you? Did you just
Now
walk
they're
away?
now they're introducing sci-fi elements that just
Yeah,
are there
yeah.
for the sake of being there.
Well, they want to be all MGS. Can't leave it open.
Yeah. I'm glad to know you're that kind of guy. Don't worry, I'm not going in without a plan.
I'm gonna find out something.
She,
Just looking
Huh?
at these here.
What's that? A rope?
It would be GA wanting desperately to go in, and Yosuke wanting desperately to stay
Nope,
out.
it actually makes sense.
to me.
I know.
It
It's
does.
just that
hold
from
on to
their,
this and wait here.
Their first impressions, it's like, Yosuke's not going to be a hero type. Well, he's the hero type.
That's the whole thing.
It's when you get okay. So kind of a bit of spoiler here in this game. The big thing you always have to fight in this game, and you can mute at this point. I'll have my hand up, and when I put it down, I'm done. So here's the spoiler. Spoiler of this game is every boss you fight is you, or a version of someone whose dungeon you're in. You fight their inner personality that they hate, the part of them they hate the most. You have to fight that because they deny it. The more they deny it, the harder this thing gets. And then, that's kind of been the whole point. You have to fight your own inner demons. So, that's what I was talking about.
Here. This is for you.
It's
Yes.
for
It's
the hell of
totally
it,
useful.
For the hell of it, I'll
Might be
add
better than going in empty-handed.
always this series from
let's
1
go.
through
no
2,
use wasting any more
2.5, 3, and 4 has been heavily
whatever you do,
influenced by
don't
Jungian psychology. And to the point where it uses terms and concepts from it liberally. And in this case, in this game, as you can guess, the shadows you're going to fight, as he just said, arm up in the air, spoiler alert, are indeed the shadows, the inner psyche demon,
I knew this wasn't good.
from
Now
Jungian
what?
psychology of that person, literally manifested as this horrible monster.
So, and the monsters will also represent. But it's a lot of weirdness. The other thing about all the Persona games is they're about relationships. They're about
Yes.
the people you make relationships with. It's why everything is based off tarot
Is this-
cards.
Look,
I
this is the same
love
place as last time.
two's.
So you're
Two,
connected from place
to me,
place.
Eternal Punishment had the best cast interaction. The fact that
I don't know. This one has some of the better ones.
this one does too. This is probably second place to me.
Yeah.
Why?
Stomp.
You're the
Stomp.
ones behind
It should squeak when he stops. Squeaky.
You're so fishy. You must be. And I would have responded to him at that point with, and we would have gotten away with it if it hadn't
Wait,
been
what
for
the
you,
hell did you just
stupid
say?
bear and your meddling dog.
And the fox.
Lately, I can tell someone's been throwing people.
Yeah, the fox, not the dog.
It's making
How,
this world
how do
more
you
and more
seriously
messed
push
up.
someone into a television? Hey, look at the screen really close. Shove.
I don't know, but
This is the second time you guys came here, and I don't think anyone forced you there.
are you volunteering for
You're
this?
the most suspicious. You guys must be the ones throwing the people in here.
Don't let me say that.
What are you talking about, throwing people in? If someone was thrown in here and they couldn't get out, they might die. Who would do such a... Wait a sec. All this talk about someone throwing people in here, does he mean Senpai and the announcer? Did that someone throw those two in here?
Yes, Yusuke has broken the case.
Hey,
Oh my god, breaking the case, breaking the case! They accidentally fell in. Yeah, that happens all the time.
You know, I'm just walking around down the road, and then all of a sudden, bam!
I
I
fell
fall
into a television.
I fell into an alternative dimension of hell.
Yeah.
Only,
Let's assume-
only